In the headlines, increased communication among Caribbean countries expected as the 2016 hurricane season officially gets underway in less than 48 hours. Fisherfolk are being advised on how to safeguard themselves and their property during the 2016 North Atlantic hurricane season, and 6 individuals involved in a robbery of over $1 million EC in goods are now in police custody. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News. Details when we return. Welcome back. First up, increased consultation among Caribbean meteorologists is being seen as a way to help curb the effects of severe weather systems on Caribbean countries. This statement was made by an executive member of the World Meteorological Organization, WMO, on Monday. The WMO executive, which is also the head of the Caribbean Meteorological Organization, CMO, says the effects of Tropical Storm Erica could have been reduced if there was increased communication between the English and French-speaking Caribbean. He says the passage of Tropical Storm Erica exposed areas which need improvement in the region's communication network.
It showed that we have weaknesses in our system still, whether we like it or not. We could have done a better job. It's not because we didn't have the knowledge. The primary thing I think where we slipped up is our lack of consultation among meteorologists in the region. Didn't happen when it should have. But we didn't have any very established way of communicating between the English and French speakers. We do it among ourselves as English speakers. There's no set protocol.
Sutherland says steps are being taken to encourage increased cooperation among English, French and Dutch-speaking Caribbean countries in relation to improving communication on weather systems which affect the region.
I'm a member of the Executive Council of the World Meteorological Organization, and when I'm in Switzerland in 2 weeks' time, I will be signing an agreement with the French Met Service to boost the collaboration that we have between ourselves. We've been doing many things over the years, but mostly on an ad hoc basis. Now we're going to try to formalize that and take it a step further in the next, within the next year or two to really increase the collaboration among the Met Services in the region, including the Dutch-speaking. So our initial plan is to go from Trinidad right up to Puerto Rico and really just formalize things, just make people speak to each other more. That's really where the downfall is.
Sutherland was speaking at the Caribbean Climate Outlook Forum, CARICOF, on the 2016 wet season at the Fort Young Hotel on Monday. Meantime, Dominica's rebuilding efforts ahead of the 2016 hurricane season are said to be well underway.
$1.29 billion in damage was caused to the country as a result of Tropical Storm Erica last year, August. Minister Blanchard says significant work has been done in Dominica since the tropical storm to build the country's resilience to natural disasters.
Since the passage of Tropical Storm Erica, we have made significant progress in cleaning up our country and in restoring some measure of normalcy in the daily lives of our citizens and residents, while focusing on rebuilding and doing so better than we did in the past. As we assess the amount of work that we have to do and have commenced doing to reduce our vulnerabilities and build resilience against events such as Erica, it is clear to us that it will take a considerable period of time to return our island to pre-Erica state.
Caribbean countries are particularly vulnerable to weather events, and this in turn has a financial impact on the Caribbean society.
These challenges bring about a certain level of hardship to our people and countries, as invariably it seems that every other year we are required to divert funding allocated for development projects to prepare for or respond to these weather events. As we approach the 2016 hurricane season, this government is extremely concerned about the possibility of yet another weather system coming to our shores. We are cognizant of the vulnerability of Dominica to such events, and we are pressing ahead, using all available resources to mitigate the likely effects of the increased risks to some of our communities and infrastructure left behind by Tropical Storm Erica.
Minister Blanchard says the government of Dominica commends efforts to develop early warning systems so that Caribbean people can be better prepared for the impact of weather systems.
I am also pleased that you, supported by regional international partners, are exploring ways to develop effective early warning systems to provide real-time seasonal climate forecasts, which will no doubt assist in developing adaptation and disaster risk reduction measures. This is indeed desirable and highly commendable. As mentioned before, Dominica is very vulnerable to these events. As we enter another hurricane season, we must ensure that we can provide accurate warning bulletins in a timely manner to our citizens and to the government to ensure that informed decisions are made to protect life and property.
The North Atlantic hurricane season runs from 1st June to 30th November each year. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Now let's hear from Dominica's Met Services as an active hurricane season has been predicted for the Caribbean for 2016. Ann Carrett Joseph of the Dominica Meteorological Service gave details of the forecast for the 2016 hurricane season during a CARICOF meeting on Monday.
Climatologically, from 1950 to 2000, there are usually 10 named storms, 5.9 hurricanes, 2.3 intense hurricanes, and the accumulated cyclone energy, the median is 100. And NOAA gave a 70% probability that there will be 10 to 16 named storms, a 25% chance of named storms being below normal, 45% chance of being normal, and a 30% chance of them being above normal. Of those, 4 to 8 are expected to be hurricanes, 1 to 4 intense hurricane, and there's a 65% to 140% chance of accumulated cyclonic energy for the year 2016.
The Met officer says the El Niño and La Niña events will impact the region's weather patterns. The La Niña event is a cooling of the water in the equatorial Pacific that occurs at irregular intervals and is associated with widespread changes in weather patterns. El Niño, on the other hand, is an abnormal weather pattern that is caused by the warming of the Pacific Ocean near the equator of the coast of South America.
For June, July, August of 2016, a gradual drought alleviation across the region is expected. Surface water reservoirs recharge, soil moisture replenishment, and increased river flow. Water shortage-related problems in agriculture to disappear in many places. Where it has not already started, the wet season may start abruptly in June. Rains too often disrupt outdoor activities. Extremely wet spells may occur, and that leaves a serious potential for flash flooding and landslides.
The Caribbean Regional Outlook Forum, CARICOF, was made possible through the collaborative efforts of the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology, United States Agency for International Development, Global Framework for Climate Services, and the World Meteorology Organization. In other news, fishermen in Dominica are being warned to adhere to guidelines on using proper equipment for fishing.
Senior Fisheries Officer at the Fisheries Division, Norman Norris, wants the fishermen to invest more in safety equipment. He said while the Fisheries Division will continue to train fisher folk on the proper use of the equipment, it is left to them to take the necessary action before venturing out at sea.
Preparation is really the key. No matter how much work that you put in, there are some days that it just doesn't work, and then you have to really be extra careful. So we're requesting that of them. I don't necessarily agree that a number of fishers have been lost. The number is still below average because the training that we do prepares them for that kind of experience, that kind of event. But the challenge is fishermen have to make a little more investment into their safety equipment. If they purchase a boat and an engine that costs so much money, they have to ensure that they have the necessary flares, the necessary jackets, the necessary raincoats, and the necessary equipment to ensure that that they can not just catch fish, but like I mentioned earlier, be able to come back and enjoy their life outside of their job.
Meanwhile, just 2 days before the official start of the 2016 Atlantic hurricane season, fishermen are being urged to ensure that it is safe before venturing out at sea.
As you know, boating and personal safety is a major component of the survival of any fisherman. and we try to pass that information on to them through our basic fisherman training course, which we run every quarter. And also, as you mentioned, with the hurricane season coming up, it's natural and normal for them to have to go out and fend, catch fish so that they can supply fish to the country and also take care of their families. And they can just call and find out if there are any storms, if there are any heavy rains, if there are any impending weather circumstances that could really make it difficult for them to continue doing the operation. We saw last week the Roseau River was really flooded. Not so much Roseau, but the Roseau River, and it was a wide plume. A very, very wide plume, and somehow it affected the operations of some of the net fishers and the pot fishers, and this created some downtime for them. But we're hoping that this season will not create any circumstances that could really make things a little more difficult than it is for them, because some of them still haven't recovered fully from the storm of last year.
Norris also called on fishermen to ensure that they are registered before going fishing. Keisha Nicholas, Channel 5 News.
Meantime, stakeholders in the fishing industry have been reassured that government will invest heavily in improving the fishing sector.
Small ruminant farmers are also set to benefit from the significant developments in the livestock sector.
A huge investment is presently underway in rehabilitation of fisheries machinery and equipment to enhance our capacity for production. 2 mega fads will be installed over the next few months, which will further enhance our productive capacity. We are going to actually produce a tremendous amount of fish, and some fish exports have started in the area of Maru, which is very encouraging. The small ruminant program of the Ministry of Agriculture has received new stock of sheep and goats from Barbados and the United States respectively for genetic enhancement of the local stock.
The government is also continuing in its efforts to help Dominica diversify from a monocrop country while acknowledging the effects of climate change on the sector.
The menace of climate change is ever with us, and climate-smart agriculture has to be mainstreamed in our development planning for the sector moving forward. The agricultural sector in Dominica is undergoing a transition from a monocrop economy to a more diversified approach. Agricultural diversity will assist significantly in building resilience in the sector by providing a fallback position to buffer against climatic shocks and disastrous events.
Last year, Dominica's agriculture, fisheries and forestry sectors suffered damage in the amount of $114.22 million EC from Tropical Storm Erika.
The government of Dominica has spared no effort in investment in the agricultural sector. There is an abundance of training opportunities for the staff of the Ministry of Agriculture, as well for interested private sector persons. The government has invested heavily in providing inputs, fertilizers, tissue culture planting material, construction of drainage systems, building of smart greenhouses, including irrigation systems, farm access roads, and other farm infrastructure, all geared towards enhancement of the agricultural sector.
Coming up, the latest in police news from the weekend. That and more when we return. Thank you for staying with us. 6 individuals have been arrested and charged for the 21st May 2016 robbery at Jewelers International, located at Fort Young Hotel, which amounted to over $1 million EC. 1 woman and 2 non-nationals are among the 6 individuals who appeared before the magistrate's court on Monday. Michael Alexis Maglo of St. Martin, Jason Dubique, also from St. Martin, and Hakeem Anton Francis have been charged with conspiracy to rob and robbery. The prosecution alleges that Maglo, Dubique, and Francis stole 45 Rolex watches at Jewelers International on 21st May 2016, valued at $1,857,762.04. Craig Christian, Cynthia Dorset, and Elrado Ducre are charged with conspiracy to rob Jewelers International between December 1st, 2014 and May 1st, 2016. Bail hearing is set for June 6, 2016, since the prosecution has objected to bail being granted. The 6, all of whom have legal representation, have all been remanded in custody. The matter set for 31st October 2016. In more police news, a 24-year-old woman from Portsmouth who resides in Mahu has been arrested and charged for inflicting grievous bodily harm. Here is Police Public Relations Officer Acting Inspector Pelham John Baptist with the details.
It is alleged that about 9:45 p.m. on Friday the 27th of May 2016 at Mahu, Joselle Fontaine inflicted multiple stab wounds to the back of 40-year-old Cletus Paul of Mahu. Paul was transported to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital, where he was examined by a medical doctor and admitted.
Police are currently carrying out investigations into the death of an elderly man on Thursday. The man was from the community of Terplat, which is between Thibault and Pebouche.
It was reported that the lifeless body of William Stout was discovered at his residence by his wife about 12 p.m. on Thursday, the 26th of May 2016. Stout was officially pronounced dead by a medical doctor at the Reginald Fitzgerald Armour Hospital at Portsmouth. A coroner's inquest will be convened. Investigations are ongoing.
And the authorities are asking for assistance from the public in locating a young woman from the community of Casa Bruce.
The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force appeals to the general public for information leading to the whereabouts of 21-year-old Sharian Joseph, who resided at Casa Bruce before she was reported missing. According to initial police investigations, Sharian Joseph was last seen about 2 p.m. on Sunday, the 15th of May 2016, on the Casa Bruce Highway. Sharian Joseph is dark in complexion, about 5 feet 5 inches tall, slim, with an oval-shaped face. At the time she was last seen, she was wearing a short black jeans and a black top. Investigations are ongoing.
Anyone who knows the whereabouts of Sharian Joseph is asked to call the Criminal Investigations Department at 266-5164, 266-5165, 266-5119 or Crime Stoppers Dominica at 1-800-8477. Residents of the Maru constituency are to benefit from funds amounting to over $521,000 made available by the government of Dominica.
On Friday, Prime Minister and Minister for Finance Roosevelt Skerrit presented 2 checks to the Mahu Village Council. Over $185,000 will go towards youth empowerment, which includes fishing, auto and poultry for 17 young entrepreneurs, while $336,000 will go towards road infrastructure in the communities of Massac, Montscope in Mahu and Warner. Prime Minister Skerrit urged the recipients to use the funds to create opportunities for other residents.
That you need to make wise use of the money. Use it to build yourself. Let that investment in yourself make more money for you and create opportunities not only for yourself, but for your brothers and sisters, your comrades, your partners on the block. And I want you to take this positive message back to the rest of your friends who did not come forward to be part of this process, that we need them to be part of the process.
Prime Minister Skerrit informed that additional funds for road infrastructure in the constituency will be made available upon completion of the first 5 projects. Meanwhile, Skerrit reiterated the urgent need to eradicate pit latrines in the constituency.
He mentioned an amount for washrooms. We need to eradicate pit latrines in Dominica. And notwithstanding the challenges which we're experiencing with Erica, we are committed to continuing that project of eradication of pit latrines. And so the Maru area will receive in excess of $275,000. So really this week you have received close to, $4 short of $1 million in this constituency for various interventions.
Prime Minister Skerrit told residents that it is important for everyone in the constituency to play their part in order to achieve positive things for the community.
In related news, Parliamentary Representative of the Maru constituency, Raymond Blackmore, says the rehabilitation of several roads in his constituency will commence soon. The Mahu Village Council has received funds in excess of over $336,000 from government to undertake road projects.
So the road at Montscope is going to be done, and that money is part of the package here today. We have Jim Avenue, Phase 1, because everything cannot be done at once. That, of course, also forms part of the package. We have started the link road in Campbell, a very useful road. Sorry, in Wana, a very useful road. And then we're also going to ensure that $69,000 is actually made available through the Maru Village Council, because there's no council in Wana, so that road can be completed. We had actually worked with some business people who had consented to give us all the cement and all the tariff. So the money that we are making available here is modest to go towards the labor component of that project. And I see Baba from Massac there and Ashworth. We have the Canal Road that I made a promise during the election campaign. That also is going to be addressed. And we need to also improve the existing road in Fomaji Massac. And the other aspects of the intervention in terms of the storm drains in that area will be done later. And the other aspect of the road to be done in Jimit and in Canefield and other parts of the country, or the constituency, sorry, will be addressed.
One CARICOM government is reiterating its support of the full implementation of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy CSME.
An official of Suriname's Ministry of Trade during a visit to Dominica recently said while the country is in favor of the CSME, there are still ways to improve its effectiveness.
The Ministry of Trade and Industry of Suriname also welcomes any forum available to further discuss the challenges involved and a strategy going forward. To deliver on the promises of the single market and economy in an efficient manner, we have to further institute a consultative mechanism that is robust and responsive.
The Suriname Focal Point says dialogue between public and private sector entities is important in ensuring the smooth working of the CSME.
We learned about the Dominica Business Forum, a mechanism that allows for consultations between the public and private sector. A similar forum is established in Suriname and allows for fruitful and dynamic interactions between the private and the public sector. The public-private partnerships are extremely successful when not confined between borders. The new trends are that these partnerships should have a regional and international dimension. Suriname is doing her part regarding CSME implementation and enhancement of the operations by simplifying procedures for trade, investment, trade facilitation, and infrastructure to connect with other regional markets.
The ministry's official was in Dominica with a contingent of university students from Suriname, which visited local public and private sector entities to investigate the extent of the implementation of the CSME.
In meeting with different officials and private sector representatives, the students gained a better understanding of Dominica's implementation successes and the challenges that are being experienced. The students are encouraged and are eager to document these findings and share this with the wider community. The single market regime for free movement of goods, skills, capital, service, and the right of establishment have been established and CARICOM nationals have been moving. But however, there is a continued need to improve the access to the right under the treaty as reports are received about non-access compliance across the board.
The group from Suriname was on island for the students engaging CSME through field promotion program of the CARICOM Secretariat. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
That's news. Coming up in sports, Keon Burton resets the national under-18 boys javelin record. That and more next. First up in sports, the future of basketball in Dominica stands a better chance thanks to Mars Sports Academy, the DABA, and Athletes in Action. IA was on island on the weekend working with Mars and the DABA to help develop basketball in Dominica and to scout for talent.
We were, blessed with the opportunity to sit down with some of the coaches here and just kind of go through some of the details of the game. Talking about sports psychology. Talking to them about different drills, just giving them more education, more tools to help, further the level of basketball here in Dominica.
He says the talent in the DABA League and the under-16 is impressive but can be developed further.
there's definitely some talent here. You know, with the right coaching, the right direction, there's definitely guys that can play on another level. You know, with that being on the university level in the States, or maybe even one day playing pro basketball, there's talent here. It just needs to be developed in the right way. The physicality of the game, we like that. You know, we also liked, you know, the style of play in terms of attack. You know, we hope to, you know, bring some new ideas here in terms of, you know, shooting the basketball a little bit more, you know, and opening up the floor to allow some of those guys a little bit more opportunity when they are going to the hole to shine a little bit more.
He says his team hopes to further assist Dominica with its basketball development by forming basketball academies, since we have some natural talent here.
I run a basketball academy back in the States and have done that for probably the past 10 years. And so we do individual skill development at any level. And hopefully we can bring something like that here, you know, foster something like that here in Dominica as well, and, you know, just replicate that. And I think that will definitely help, you know, raise the level of play here. There were some boys that were really impressive with just raw talent and raw skill, haven't been trained, but have some great natural ability.
Meantime, in the DABA League on the weekend, Carrie FM Old School added another win to their tally when they defeated Detroit Blazers 64-51 in the first division, and in the Premier category, Blazers defeated Jays Limited Sonics 64-58. We move now to results from the Windward Island Two-Day Championships in Grenada, where Dominica played Grenada on the weekend. Dominica was sent in to bat and posted 329 all-out. Tyron Theophilus smashed 96, while Jelani Robinson added 80 and Liam Sebastian 50. D. George took 5 for 84 for Grenada. Grenada, in reply, were bowled out for 312. Arcato was not out on 96. In track and field, one new national record has been set following Sunday's track and field nationals at Winter Park on Sunday. Keon Burton reset the under-18 boys javelin record with a throw of 67.93 meters, breaking his previous record of 64.87 in this year's Carifta Games. Other notable mentions were Danielson Mahote, 10.8 seconds in the under-18 boys 100 meters, Derek St. Jean, 51.7 seconds in the 18 and under boys 400 meters, and Jabez Ferrara, 15 minutes 44 seconds in the men's 5,000 meters. Meantime, President of the Dominica Amateur Athletics Association, Godwin Dorset, says Sportswoman of the Year, Shani Angol, is the most likely candidate to represent Dominica at the upcoming IAAF Junior Championships in Poland. This following Sunday's track and field nationals.
So far, we have selected Shani Angol as our representative for this year's World Championship. This junior championship, we see her as our best athlete. As you know, she is Dominica's top female sports person, and so we see her as the best person to represent Dominica. Even though at this moment she has not attained the qualifying standard, but we are allowed to send at least one person.
The competition is scheduled to run from July 19 to 24. Still in sports, Digicel Newtown Juvenile Academy Harlem United and Bath State Football Club have booked spots in the finals of the All-Island League on Sunday. Gerald George has details.
In semi-final action on Sunday, Harlem United defeated Richards Point Michelle 3-1 at the Pori playing field. Vogue Nalged Jalui found the back of the nets twice for Harlem, with Montel James scoring one. Shem Deluge got the lone goal for Point Michelle. In the other semi-final match at the Newtown playing field, Bath State Football Club defeated Dubla Football Club 4-1. Denzel Lawrence, Fabio Roberts, Conaldo Thomas and Fitzjolly scored for Bath State. Elijah Francois scored for Dubla.
Meantime, in the Domlec Women's League, Dive Dominica Harlem United defeated Wood City Strikers 4-2. Here again is Gerald George.
Ali Jatit converted twice for Harlem, with one each coming from Naima Africa and Ivana Amabel. Janet Carbon and Tabik Lockhart scored for Wood City, while defending champions New India Goodwill Runners won by default over Bomber Starlights. And at the Newtown playing field, New Generation Sports Club and Maru Soccer Strikeheads split to a love-all draw.
Finally in sports, Sunrisers Hyderabad lifted the Indian Premier League Championship trophy for the first time when they defeated Royal Challengers Bangalore by 8 runs on Sunday. Hyderabad won the toss and batted first, ending on 208 for 7. David Warner posted 69 while Ben Cutting and Y Singh assisted with 39 and 38 respectively. Set 209 to win, Bangalore was bowled out for 200. Chris Gill had a game high of 76 while Virat Kohli chipped in with 54. That's all the sports for now. I am Kenny Williams. Join us again next time. Your weather report next.
Good evening, Dominica, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. Again, we begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery, what it showed. Numerous areas of convection across the region today due to weak unstable conditions. Taking a look at earlier visible satellite imagery and what it showed. Multi-layer clouds across the region today, and this resulted in generally cloudy skies across the island. Taking a look at earlier radar imagery and what it indicated. The associated scattered showers across the region during today. Tonight's weather is expected to be generally cloudy and occasionally breezy with a few brief scattered showers, and similar conditions can be expected into tomorrow. Sea conditions are expected to be moderate in open water with waves peaking near 7 feet. For the next 3 days, we can expect an increasing cloudiness with scattered showers throughout the 3-day period, with a chance of some isolated thunderstorms by late Wednesday into Thursday. As a result, persons in areas prone to flooding, landslides, and falling rocks are advised to be vigilant and to exercise caution. For the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow, an increasing cloudiness and scattered showers can be expected throughout the region, with the possibility of some isolated thunderstorms across the extreme northern and extreme southern portion of the island chain. Our international cities forecast: partly cloudy skies can be expected in New York, some thunderstorm activity expected in Miami and Caracas, some rain expected in London, and clear skies expected in Beijing. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:33 a.m. and sunset will be at 6:33 p.m. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit our website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Have a good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. Increased communication among Caribbean countries expected as the 2016 hurricane season officially gets underway in less than 48 hours. Fisherfolk are being advised on how to safeguard themselves and their property during the 2016 North Atlantic hurricane season, and 6 individuals involved in a robbery of over $1 million EC dollars in goods are now in police custody. Feel free to contact us at news@Mon30thMay2k16News. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Kenny Williams. To our viewers around the world, thank you for watching. Join us next time.